You can hear us? Elizabeth, can you hear us? Okay, good evening, everybody. This meeting is called to order. Today is July 31st. This is a construction board of directors meeting. Just briefly introduce who's here. We get related to the construction. We have Larry, who's our project manager with S&D. Madge is one of the engineers with S&D. And then you have representing Ostro, you have Doran. Okay? We do have a quorum on the board. We do have Maud, Blair, myself, Maritza, Elizabeth, and Kareem are on the phone. Sean and Miriam are absent. Before I get started, we're gonna resort back to the board quorum that we established last year. Unfortunately, there are unit owners that don't understand how to conduct themselves in a board meeting, so I'm going to remind everybody again. We're going to go back to the 3-minute rule, and because we're having people talking over each other, interrupting, entering the meeting and interrupting, and so forth. So I'm going to remind everybody what I read back last year. This is the Omega Villas Condominium Board Meeting Code of Conduct, Ethics, and Decorum. It reads, to be recognized, the meeting chair has a responsibility to complete the agenda. If a board member or unit owner has something to add to the discussion, ask to be recognized. All unit owners will be provided an opportunity to speak on the floor for 3 minutes. I'm going to have someone be our timekeeper. Do you want to use the timer in the phone? Will you be our timer? Do you know how to use that? So every time I call on somebody, put the timer for 3 minutes? Okay. Regarding anything on the agenda or in general business, no unit owner will be given another opportunity to speak until all unit owners present have had the opportunity to speak in the meeting being discussed at least once. Unit owners providing the floor a second time will be provided an additional 1.5 minutes to speak on the items. Anyone seeking to be recognized must raise their hand or ask for the floor. The board seeks to avoid arguments or increase volume in the room, so they seek to avoid sidebar conversations as they're a distraction. Rude to the person that has the floor. When board members or unit owners call out or interrupt, it's not only disrespectful, but it also slows things down. Okay? All right, so I established the quorum. We went over the reminder of the board meeting code of conduct. We'll go right into, oh, it's his radio, sorry. No, it's okay. I thought it was Elizabeth trying to say something. All right, so Larry and Doran and Jed, construction updates. The first item is update on vendors for AC, plumbing, and electrical works.
Okay, good evening, everyone. All the scope of works for this, for electrical, shifting of AC units, plumbing, and electrical boxes were completed, sent to the association, to the board. And I was out for a few days because I had family visits. As soon as I resumed work this week, I basically arranged with some vendors, 4 of them. That was Light Electric, MEP in Wo, Cavalier, and Ostro. I invited them to site this morning at 10 a.m. to walk around, to explain to them the works. Unfortunately, only Light Electric and Ostro showed up. Cavalier and MEP showed up.
Did they say why?
I actually called M&P Info. They said that they were coming. They never showed up. I didn't try calling Cavalier because when I sent the email last week, I called him and I told him I sent him the scope of works that he should be there.
Who's he?
Cavalier.
Who from Cavalier? Joe
I
Borelli
think
or
it's true.
Chris?
I think it's true.
Cavalieri?
I think it's true because Said gave his number, Joe. He told me he would be there. The email went to his office. He didn't show up.
And I'm sorry, what's the other company?
Light Electric
Light Electric.
and MEP Info.
Okay. And both these companies have plumbing capabilities?
Well, basically, MEP Info is a general MEP contractor, so yes, he would have. However, the guy from Light Electric, saying that these two other companies didn't show up, I convinced him that if he could get maybe some subcontractors of his that work with him to at least give a quote on the plumbing. He said he can handle the cable boxes, it's almost part electrical. He said the AC unit is moving, it's part electrical, part HVAC, so he can handle it. He has some guys that work with him from the AC companies, and then again, Austro, a general contractor, is going to give a quote also, so they can also find their electricians or plumbers or HV guys according to the quotes. Well, since that they didn't show up, I'm not too sure if they will submit bids because they have the documents. Maybe they can.
I saw your email for the RFP, which is the request for proposal. I was waiting for this meeting to ensure there were no changes in the scope that you
Nothing.
submitted.
Nothing.
I'll send it to the board, and, we'll put it under the 40-year certification, so the unit owners see the scope of work from Farouk that's been established based on the walkthrough with Austro, the initial walkthrough that we all did with Diana, Austro, and the engineers. So let me send this tomorrow, and I'll post, we'll have Eric post it on that, okay, so
And
that's.
also Cavalieri does have a plumbing company as well that they work with.
So we need 3 proposals. That's what the
Well, I have-
association,
I
I
have
noticed
a-
we only reached out to 4 people.
These go outside. Alright, let me see who is going to return bids, if they, because they're to return bids next Thursday, in a week time. So if by Thursday, we only get 2 bids, then we're going to have to try to see how we get the 3rd bid. Alright,
And we'll reach out to them tomorrow.
well, yeah, we can maybe try and call them again and see what's happening, why they didn't show up.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
Ma'am, you haven't been called yet, let him
I
finish and then
understand
I'll
there's a
open to
pertain
the
to
floor.
this. Okay.
He requested the call, let him finish what he needs to say, and then we'll open up to the agenda item.
So yes, so I will try tomorrow again and communicate with them, find out what went wrong, and if they're willing to come, or if not, then maybe try to, if they say they're not going to submit codes, then maybe try to get them to vendor.
Okay, now, you being an engineering firm, Farouk has no other,
Well, these are those he gave me, so I was hoping that these 4 would show up and that we would
is
not
he
have.
aware that you're struggling with 2, because we need to move.
I will inform him later, via email, or I'll give him a call
Yeah.
tomorrow morning
You
to let
should
him
be
know.
able to give, pages for contractors.
So he basically, I'll call him, maybe he will call MEP and go to find out what's happening, because MEP and is one of the contractors that have been working with him all the time. That is why off his hand, he just gave me these 2, and then we had Cavalieri and Austro, so I figured that these 4 should be sufficient. You know, if anything, Diana, myself, and Saeed will take out a few more, and try to see what we can.
When's the due date for
Within 5 days, which would be Thursday next week.
Thursday of next week?
Yes. So they are to submit their sale bills to our office, where we will open the bids and submit to the board a bid analysis.
Kareem and Elizabeth, do you have any questions before we move on to the audience for this subject matter questions?
No questions.
What did she say?
She said no.
I said, no questions for me.
Great, thank you, Kareem.
Go ahead.
Okay, why would we go to general contractors to get plumbers, because they're gonna mark up the work, why don't, there's probably 1,000 plumbers and electricians in Broward County who we wouldn't pay that markup to.
Well, as I told you, I discussed it with my boss, and these are the vendors that he recommended. So, if anything, if party wishes, we could rediscuss with him and see if we could get
We
separate.
could go on Angie's list and get.
Well, there's many plumbers, just like Cavalieri is electrical, and we got Cavalieri to do the panels. There are many large commercial residential based plumbers. Diana's probably worked with 1 million of them.
So you mint plumbing.
You know,
that's-
there's probably 1,000,001 electrical. I mean, she has a point, when you start, even Ostro, unless they have in-house plumbing and electrical, they're gonna outsource as a GC, and then we're gonna get a markup. Can't we go directly to an electrical contractor, directly to a plumber?
Well, I guess we can.
Yeah, let's open our scope a little bit, because we are gonna see the markup.
Okay.
Because everybody that engages in a contract wants their piece, and not every general contractor has an in-house electrical group or team or in-house plumbing team. I understand from a coordination perspective why some people would want to work with people that they, you know, but we need to see what's in the best.
On
interest.
another note, we have to look at it in that way, that if we could just get one contractor that would basically do all four, the coordination would be easy.
No, agreed,
Because it would
that's
have one
agreed.
person overseeing an Austro, if it's not Austro that gets the bid, for example. If there's just one other person who is basically willing to take a contract to oversee all four of these things, then it would be easier to coordinate with one person compared to having to coordinate with 4 different persons plus the contractor.
So,
You're gonna pay for it, it's gonna cost us more that way.
Alright?
so HVAC companies, by general rule, always have electricians on because they deal with air conditioners, right?
Exactly.
And they also have to deal with plumbing, so perhaps an HVAC contractor that can do the plumbing, the electrical, and, you know, because the electrical is only, from the scope of work, is, just in a nutshell, is disconnecting the AC, which an HVAC can do. Reinstalling the AC, which an HVAC can do, which includes the plumbing, right? And then, lights, junction boxes, electrical outlets that have to come out. What other major electrical would be there?
In the AC,
We're talking about, you mentioned in order to install the Marty board.
yeah,
you
we
have to
need
move
an
and
electrician
reinstall
going to have to
AC.
move and replace the meter panels, remove the
That's an
power outlet.
electrician,
Yeah.
okay?
So basically for the HVAC, the AC unit, it would need an electrician and HVAC person.
And some of these major contractors have that in-house, that they don't have to subcontract.
So basically, in a nutshell, as I said, I consulted with Saeed on that, and that's what he gave me, and he told me to move forward. So right now that we have come to this little situation where 2 vendors didn't show up, then I guess I'm going to have to go back with him, and if you know of any of these companies, that maybe you could just shoot an email, and
I believe an ideal situation would be one contractor that has in-house HVAC, electrical, plumbing.
well, that's exactly what I said. MEP
One
Info,
company, not that they go out and outsource.
MEP Info is a general MEP that covers mechanical, electrical, and plumbing.
So they're coordinating, let's say Oster's not chosen when they bid. One company is orchestrating the work with Alstrom, not three different
Well,
companies.
that's what I'm saying, alright? So that's why, for example, Light Electric said that he can,
Of course, Light Electric can, they're big.
alright? So I was hoping that MEP would have come and that it's another big company that has everything in-house, but they didn't show up, so we'll have to see if they submit bids. I'll try to communicate with them and see if they're going to submit bids. If they're not, then we're going to have to try to shortlist a few more companies and try and do another site visit.
Diana, Cavalieri being our electrical contractor for the panels, if they're not interested, let them tell us now. We're not gonna sit and wait and wonder, was there a misunderstanding of their appointment today? Time is of essence. We've gotta get this next phase, moving. So you talk
Okay,
to
so-
Joe Borelli or Chris Cavalieri and say, guys, you didn't show up today. What happened? You could have had an emergency, but at least they should have communicated. Contractors, it's like, you know, you have to beg them, all contractors in general, beg to get work done, it's just ridiculous. All right, any other questions or comments on the first agenda item, which is the scope of work for the AC, plumbing, and electrical? All right, take us through the drywall interior repairs caused by beam and truss replacement.
Okay, for the past few weeks, this is what Austro has been working on, saying that we gave them a stop order on not performing any more structural repairs until it's approved. However, there are like 13 units that they're still coordinating with to perform this. Apart from that, all the other units that were damaged, apart from these 13 units, have been repaired.
Okay, stop. What stop order did Austro get?
No, we send them an email to stop works until.
You guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Until-
SD?
SD, yes.
Okay. For
Until
what reason?
all structural permits are applied for and approved.
That's structural. We're talking about interior, we're on
Right,
the
so the
item of
interior works,
interior
the
drywall.
interior drywall doesn't require a permit because it was just damages that was done during the roof restoration, so that's what they were working on.
Okay, that's the agenda item.
Yes,
Interior
so I was
repairs.
just giving a
Let's-
general idea of what was happening, so
Okay.
that they will not perform.
No, we're
the
clear on
work.
that. They have to
Right.
wait for all the permits, correct?
Alright, so therefore, it's just about 13 units from the spreadsheet that was sent to me that have not been completed.
Sorry, how many?
13.
13. Somebody told me, and I can't remember where I heard it. I don't know if it came from you, Doran, or one of the emails, is that the work that you still need to do on the structure, especially in the facade where you have roofing, is that gonna interfere? Is there reasons why you won't touch some of the interior because chances of being damaged again?
That's what I was told, yes, that there may be, that's what Levi was explaining in the meeting here, that there's a possibility when, some of the wood is, when we take the panels off the T111 and we look at the 2x4s and the beams, we have to change them, that it may get damaged
Again,
again. So that's why he suggested to wait, but I understand, it's hard to wait with walls open, but, so the majority, I think we still have maybe 2 weeks to do repairs inside on drywall, but
I mean, I can understand the roofing line that's in the front porch area that's close, like, we have a perfect example here, Blair has, where, I don't know if something was removed, during the roofing, but she now has that similar thing that you see above the thing, but you see light going through, right? So obviously there's something that was removed, not necessarily part of the structure, but part of the roof. Something was removed that now has created that seam failure and.
Mine had nothing to do with the roof.
No?
No.
Okay.
Mine had nothing to do with the roof.
So what does repairing those units that have pitched roofs, that have nothing to do with the structure, not even close to the exterior patio or the front, what does that have to do with repairing those interiors?
Our position has been and is that the drywall joints for the wall and for the ceiling, if they're separating, and obviously they're not separating everywhere, is because they were not done well enough to sustain a roof change, you know? So, we do roofs, but, you know, when we do the roofs, we're
We're
not
talking about
responsible.
open space, we're not talking about seams, we're talking about open, like, open. What's that got to do with the roof, the remainder of the structure work that has to be done?
Well, if we caused any breakage in the drywall, in the ceiling, we repaired it.
Already?
We still have a few more to go, but yes.
So, those 13 that are on that list is all seam work?
It's basically maybe
No, we're still finishing the window, I'm sorry. We're still finishing the window, after the window installation to fix
Just
around
thought
the
the window
windows.
installation. Forget about that.
but whatever damages that happen when they repair the roof, that's what they repair. Basically.
But Larry, we're not repairing everything. We're not repairing the cracks that, you know,
At the edges, I understand,
Yeah,
because we have to remove the
Matt, you're
facades.
the engineer? Okay. For what reason would that happen in a roof change?
Just during the moving,
The vibration of the roof would cause that seam? And if it's what he's stating it is, about improper install of a seam, would that cause that?
they didn't put enough screws on the edge of the drywall, if they didn't put tape and joint compound the way they're supposed to.
So you're referring to the developer or prior present unit owners that may have done some change? I don't know, we don't know. So that's an interesting thought. We write this down. Yes, ma'am.
So I have literally that exact situation where my roof is pitched in my living room and right down the middle, and I can see the strip of joint paper, and I think you have pictures of that as well. So is that just, that's not me? I just want to verify it.
Interior drywall is that of the association, as long as it's not neglecting the unit owner, okay? From what I just confirmed, I wanted the engineer to tell me, not the contractor, if that's possible during, is there, I think you all have gone through, well, you've all gone through, unless you don't live here, the vibration of a roof change. I thought my ceiling was gonna come through, right? Luckily, I didn't have any seam issues. I do have settlement cracks, but that's normal in these age buildings, right? But the association is in charge of the drywall.
From the inside.
Correct, unless you went, or your child went and made a hole in the wall.
Right, so should I go and take pictures?
But if it's,
of them?
we don't know if it's the developer, we don't know if that drywall was changed prior by a unit, or you're a fairly new unit owner?
Yes.
We don't know the activity inside that unit, so I would ask legal, but I'm almost positive that it's the association responsibility to go in. So we would have to get proposals to have anything that would be, that the engineer has confirmed would be natural to a roof replacement, that would happen with a poor seam. Now, the holes that you saw, somebody had dropped a tool or something, or that, they know, that's Astra. The replacement of beams, that's Astra.
One last question, I don't know if this pertains to this or maybe the previous item. So when I moved in recently, we had fans there and they were taken out during the roof beam, replacement during the, like, little patio areas. And, I wanted to know who's responsible for installing new fans that pre-existed, the electrical pre-existing, and then that was just like ripped out. When the roofs were done, or redone.
That, the fans were not something that were original to the property. that was added afterwards, so that is the homeowner's responsibility to either remove and or replace. Just like a screen, if you screened in a patio, that's the homeowner's
I
responsibility.
did replace the fans, but literally the whole electrical that connected them was like ripped out in the process of replacing those beams. That is, could be a heftier cost than just $100 per fan.
Where are the beams? The beams are on the patio?
Yeah, like they're part of they're part of the beams.
So that's.
Okay, again, the electrical is, that, the only thing that, the fan and the electrical connections were added by a previous homeowner.
Is that for the plans of the?
No, none of these units came with fans,
Right.
ceiling fans.
Like on the
Not
outside?
even inside.
No, not inside, not outside.
She's an original owner, she's
Right.
original.
No.
She can tell you a little bit of history.
Yeah.
Those are accessories that, like I have a fan, used to have a fan, I never put it back up after construction. But I had a fan outside, that was something that I added. So those are things like, front, anytime, anywhere you have an entrance light, a patio light, you may have had patio spotlights. Those are things that didn't come originally with the building, right? Those are things the homeowner maintains. For example, your electrical outlets in the front and the back. Some units have more than one in the front, one in the back, depending on the size of the unit. That's a unit owner responsibility.
We're gonna be here tomorrow, so we'll stop back at 6.
What about the flat roof over that patio area? It has all the nails.
We talked about that, a couple of board meetings. Yeah, I don't know if you were here, and I was very clear to Ostro. A finished patio roof is what was there. A finished patio roof is what these owners will get. Doesn't matter that it was T111, just like here. You didn't pay to have screws or nails, I don't care. It's in the contract, they should have done their due diligence, that's a legal issue, I won't talk about it anymore.
I also have a space like this that is open outside of the top of this ceiling there.
You have to, give me your, you can probably go right after here since it's still light, to look at, it's in the front or the back?
Bugs are getting in, dirt gets in.
Just show it to the contractor, he'll send some materials to block it out.
We've been in your role, you haven't shown that to Dory?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I too am having issues with some of the repairs or work done in the back area. And we're still waiting on an answer. It seems as though Dorian mentioned that the work that was done, or if it was even done, was not permitted. So we are seeing open gaps in the back area of our home. In addition to that, I think that if there was any damage that was already there, it was done by termites. This isn't something that happened by, a human going in there. It was
Are you referring to a patio attachment that's not permitted, that you got into?
bought it 10 years ago, that was never.
Okay, so I think, I'm sorry,
1733,
I think we spoke about this at one of the meetings. Did you ever check with the city, the records, to see if it was permitted? I know you're not a new unit owner, but you live in a community at that point was 30 years old. Prior unit owners may have done that, but did you ever check to see if the city, you need to do that, because they're only required to finish, if you have an addition that is permitted and passed through the city. And I gave the example of my next door neighbor that has a whole roof extension. In the beginning, Ostro said that's not the original building layout. Yes, you're right. And the young man was sent a letter saying, there's a possible, we don't like to say illegal, we like to say unpermitted structure to your unit. I know for a fact it wasn't him, because he moved in right after me, and that was there. So he had to go to the city. The problem that you might face with the city is, if it's prior to 2000, let's say, it's in microfiche. It's not online. So if you do a permit search for your unit on Plantation, you're not gonna see it. So you actually have to go in person and say, I'm the unit owner of blah, blah, blah. There's an attachment to my unit. We're a 40-year certification. I don't know if this has been permitted. Show me the microfiche or help me find whether this unit has a past permit.
Okay, understood. So in the case of someone purchasing a house and or a town such as this one, isn't that information supposed to be readily available, provided to someone?
Yes.
Because I also want to understand that if you were, Austro is not supposed to work on these items, then why would you go in there and cause more damage than that was already there? And now we got small animals coming into the home and everything else. If you knew that you weren't supposed to work on it, why would you go out to holiday, work on it, and leave it open for bugs and rodents and insects and whatnot?
I didn't catch, what unit are you, what address?
1733,
In what phase?
phase 3.
Phase 3? Okay.
What you're referring to is what happened with these possible illegal extensions. The roof existed normally. All right, so the roof have been there. But what some persons did is they just enclosed an open area. So on the Austria's contract, he has to replace the new roof. So I guess the damages you're talking about is a result of ripping off the old roof and putting in the new one. Even if the sidings or the addition that you're talking about may be unpermitted or not, but the roof is part of the original scope of works.
But what I understand is, I don't know if the roof was that long into the patio, but everything was already covered. There's already beams there, it was already wall there. But when we came in, that wall was there. That wall looks like it was the original wall when we added it. So if it is enclosed illegally, then how is that wall there? With the beams that all of Omega had.
Well, what I'm saying is all these wood beams were there as part of the roof.
When I mention wood beams, I'm talking about the actual wall, the brown wall.
Okay. Many people, when they put in a shed or an outside closure, use the T111, and it had since been painted when we painted many, many years ago. So it would look like the original structure, but it is not necessarily the original structure.
So, yeah, and I understand that.
Young man,
We are,
has anyone been to your home?
I don't believe so. I mean, Dorian worked on it. Are you Dorian?
Dorian, yeah,
Do you remember speaking to
I don't recall specifically interacting with.
Seventies are right here.
Okay, so I'll get your info after, so because we're gonna be on the.
I checked, I'm sorry, I checked on the permits online. None of the so-called units that have illegal structures, based on our opinion, the permits do not show up, so yes, they do have to go to microfiche.
Right.
We have to go to
Right.
microfiche to the city and look
Yes.
for it.
Yes.
They have it since inception, but unfortunately it's old school, you gotta sit there. But one of my neighbor found, the young lady that worked there very helpful to find it, and he had it. He had it from 1990, and then they came back and finished the roof and stuff, and did the repair because it was permitted by the city, so it had to be included.
So,
The issue is it a permit?
This is permitted.
if it's not, then somebody was real good at what they did because it
Oh,
looks.
I'm sure, I'm sure.
But, yeah, I mean,
We're finding out a lot of things
Yeah.
in this project, sir.
yeah,
A lot of interesting attachments.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can we move on?
Can I have a question?
Yes.
Regarding the nails that are coming through the patio, I believe Ostrom has said they're absolutely not gonna do the work. Just a thought, why don't we get bids from other companies to do the work, get it done, and take
should be included with the finished.
But it's not getting done.
Yeah,
That's a
until
legal
we,
issue.
yeah, until we get to completing the project, I don't think that's the way to go quite yet. It might be a good option as we get closer to the end of the project.
Possibly deducted.
Yes,
Absolutely.
right, but we need to.
Well,
wait
that
till
part
we get
has to
further
be
along.
finished when they're doing the structure anyways, that's where the intention of finishing. But it's right now, a legal back.
I know we're trying to save some legal expenses by just, let's get it done. Give them an opportunity, you've got 30 days, or else we're moving on to another contract. That way we don't have to spend all that legal money.
That has to go, legal has to be involved in that because it is a contractual
I
thing.
mean, but can she, account or give them, you know, an opportunity?
That's what she's in the middle of.
Oh, then, all right. All right, we're not privy to that, so.
All right, anything else from the floor on updated drywall interior repairs before we move on? Yes, sir.
I don't know if this question was asked before, because I just walked in, but as it relates to the cracks that are all the way along the ceiling, all around the unit, that was not there, is it the responsibility of the homeowner or contractors to get this repaired?
Matt, do you want to answer that? We did discuss it before you did, but Matt, I posed the question, is that normal in a roof replacement? Because Ostro claims it's poor seams, kind of like what's happening here, let's say over the window, that's a poor seam job. So Ostro's position is that's a poor drywall seam, and Ostro's not responsible for it.
Straight throughout the house?
Along the
Yes, sir.
seams.
We have 25 years' experience in roof replacements. When we go into homes, we don't work on the inside unless we cause the damage. But if it happens because of poor workmanship on the drywall part, it's not our responsibility to remodel your interior to fix those things. So
For example, my unit experienced a lot of vibration and on the roof, but I didn't have seam issues. So possibly my interior seams were done better than other things. So,
But you also have a different build.
I think it's because of your walls are concrete walls. You will not have those issues.
no.
But in any case, when they're going to be removing the plywood and redoing the facade, this is going to happen.
Again, that's why we're saying, we're trying to find out the timing Oster is going to do the 13 units that they have to repair from the beams. There was a discussion is, they were gonna wait at the end because they still have structure work to do. And if they're gonna pull out windows and stuff, they don't wanna go back and then repair, and then we go back and somebody say, I need to repair again. So that's understood. What we're trying to determine, and I asked the engineer, is does a roof, does drywall buckle like that when you have poor workmanship? And the response was, yes. It's not
Is it
necessary.
for workmanship or is it just normal during a roof repair? Because what my research said that it's normal during a roof repair to have some separation at times when they're mailing things in, putting things into posts and stuff like that. So there is a certain amount of that is normal. I was sitting in my house and saw my walls come apart and about that much while they were screwing something in. Now, I'm in a different situation, so I don't really care about them fixing seams. But
Larry, did you go into each of these units that reported drywall ceiling issues and you guys decided what was Ostro and what was not Ostro?
RJ was the one who did all the inspections.
You wanna tell us a little bit about your inspection?
I did already, I think this report like.
No, can you tell us what you encountered when you did the inspection?
So I found like a little bit plywood like watermelon, you know, and I figured out it can be happened during construction, during the movement or something, or when the contractor try to put like a screw or something from outside, it can go
from your professional experience, could you tell whose fault it is, that separation? Is it a developer or prior owner, poor workmanship, or is it the roofing company?
Like
This
50%.
is not expert
It's
testimony.
very hard to answer 50% is that like.
He's the engineer, Norm. Remember, the association is guided by the subject matter experts. That's why I don't ask you, because you're the contractor. That would be a conflict. I wanna hear from the engineer.
So my answer is, it could be from the contractor.
So it could be 50-50, it could be bad seams, it could be from the contractor.
And let's also specify what a seam is. It's literally tape. No,
Yeah.
what it is,
Oh,
is
yeah,
tape.
it's,
So when you're talking about the amount of shifting that we had going on during that construction.
all right,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
going to.
I just have to say, no, keeping my house, and I had that exact problem.
All right, so I'm gonna have to add that to, we have to talk further with.
Yes.
There's also people who just do drywall work and mud work, who could, you know, wait that out in a heartbeat.
That's not the issue is who's paying for it.
I get it, but that's
Who's responsible?
that becomes at the end of the contract the same. If Austro refuses to do it, then we need to go
We
to
have to
plan B.
determine,
We'll
for
cross that
now.
bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, we have to determine, and that's a contractual thing, this dispute that's going on between Ostro and legal of what, I can't speak further, but, of course, Ostro is gonna say it's poor workmanship, and of course, we're gonna say it wasn't there when the roof started, and now when the roof is done, it's there, so it's Ostro, so that dispute has to be handled. And I understand what you say, but at the end of the day, it has to be resolved.
Exactly, and month after month after month, it's going on and not getting resolved.
But what I mean, it has to be resolved is from a legal.
Oh, I get it. Remember, you're gonna fix it, or you're not. If you're not, let's go hire somebody who will, take it off the bill. And it's just,
But the problem is, that there's things in the contract that are responsible for that we're already paying for, so why are we gonna double pay?
no, I say take it off the bill.
All right, that's not for, an issue here. All right, take us through, anybody else before we move forward? Okay, number 3, take us to update on permit applications for building exterior structural works, including the parking panels.
Okay, today, I would say 95% of the structural buildings have been approved.
Oh, don't let me, I'm sorry to interrupt. I have a very important thing I need from the engineer for Popular. Don't let me forget after your point, please.
So about 95% of the buildings have been approved. There are just 1 or 2 which are during,
I received the corrections, they've been submitted to the city
all right,
from the
so
engineer,
our
so.
office had to do 2 corrections on some building documents, which was done and sent back to Doreen and they sent it. Just basically for 2 buildings, I think it was building 8,
No, building 1 and 3.
1, okay.
Oh, great.
So they have been sent
No,
back
it's
to the
not
city,
The
so
ones that are
hopefully.
coming under, sorry to interrupt, this is what I wanted to remind you is each environmental has part, we have this in stone. This cannot, because you have to realize, state of Florida, they have to file with the state of Florida every time they're gonna tent.
That's fine.
And so we're not playing, this is set in stone already.
He has it up
You
on his
need to
computer.
work after the tent. So you just mentioned 1 and 3?
Well, we're gonna do whatever work on the exterior walls
On
and
the
the ends
side.
of the building. So if they put a tent, fine, we'll leave it, move on somewhere else.
To
It's not
another
an issue.
building. Okay. Do you need a copy of this again?
He has it right in front of his computer.
So basically, let me just finish and then we'll take questions on that. So the permits have been approved. So as of today, Austro is saying that they will work on the first 3 buildings, which is 1, 2, and 6.
They can't work on 1, they can't work on 2, because that's coming for entry. That's coming for 10th fumigation on August 6th.
Right,
That's week
that's
already.
next week. So,
Basically, where we went today was building 6. Margie, actually, we're going to start the stucco work. Saying that we're in the process of,
Just so you know, 4 and 6 have been already fumigated, so you can start on 4 and 6, right? In phase
Right, yes.
1?
yeah, for 160.
The end units, because they're doing a stucco, and the stucco is only on the end units or everywhere?
Right.
basically only where there is, concrete. Stop there.
Okay.
So we will, as I told Marjorie, from Monday, seeing that we have the 15 buildings permits basically approved, he can go around on all the buildings and mark all the walls where they need stucco repairs. In the interim, that we are in the process of getting the quotes for this electrical and AC unit stuff, I've also discussed with Doreen that if there are any walls where there is nothing that needs to be shifted, they could basically start
Okay.
on the different buildings.
We have to give unit owners notice, here we go again,
I
guys.
understand. So
Okay,
therefore,
so-
what we're going to do, we will do a walk around again, around all the buildings and identify which areas they could start doing hardy panels.
We need to know to notify the unit owners to take personal belongings, so nothing breaks, yada, yada, yada. I don't wanna go through this again, like we went phase 4 and after 3. We need to give enough notice to unit owners. We've been sitting here waiting, and now you wanna start Monday? Are you kidding me?
The walls they're going to start off is outside, on
You're
the
assuming
side.
unit owners have nothing on the side. They may have things.
We marked building 6 today on 2 sides, there is nothing that needs to be removed.
You're talking about just the stuff.
Just the
You're
2
talking,
sides.
you
inside.
just said to allow them to work where anytime where there's no electrical. from the-
Right, so that's what I'm saying, we will do a walk around and inform for Diana will inform persons, but we have to
It's not
identify.
walking around. The unit owners need to be officially you have unit owners that don't live here. How many times, we're in 2 years
You don't
into this
understand what I'm
project.
trying to say. We're going to walk around, identify where there are walls that they can work on that don't have
When
any.
will we get that list so we can write the letter to the unit owners and post it on the doors for the tenants?
As soon as we walk around,
Okay.
we will inform them.
Let me know tomorrow, please, by tomorrow.
We'll discuss.
Just with next week.
All right.
When you're
We need
ready.
to know exactly, but you need to follow this, because we're not,
Okay.
this is in blood already. The
So-
speech has made it very clear that it's very costly, because they have to file paperwork with the
Now,
state.
the other thing about the permits, most of the permits that they hold where they're installing upper windows, these permits contain the permits to do the upper windows. However, for lower windows, Austria did not apply for any permits, saying that they don't know which unit owners will want to go through with them.
All right, so let's talk about lower windows. This has been posted on the website. Unit owners will be receiving a letter from
Jared Hanna.
Rhonda's.
Jared Hanna on the
Yeah.
on the last one.
Oh, on the last one?
Yeah, why can't you start on building 15 where I live? Because the windows are put up, they already did
All the
you know.
units, upper windows, all the units?
Yeah, all the units on that, they're all done.
You need to do another walkthrough, because you have buildings that all the upper windows are done.
The upper window doesn't determine if Austria chooses to go on with it. They randomly choose free buildings.
What's the rhyme and reason of your madness, Dora? You still have you know this building in front of us? That all the upper windows are there, why do you start black paper?
I think the reasoning Levi told me today, why
Look at
he
this building now, you have black paper. You don't have the party board up on the second level. I just
Building
can't deal
12,
with it.
building 13 has it, on building 12, there's an end unit that's, yes, it does have black paper.
Okay,
because-
this unit in front, this building right in front of the unit, go outside, you have one part that's party board, the other part black paper. Why isn't the tops of these buildings structured done?
because we stopped them from doing any structural
Wait.
works.
For the top?
Yes.
Okay, for what
Because this
reason?
was one of the reasons that when we went to the meeting with the city, when the
Okay, so
resident.
they didn't have their structural
They did not
permits
have the
finished.
structural.
Okay, understood.
So that's
But
why
now
we-
that they have their structure finished, the buildings and all the tops are done, can they do all the hardy
They
boards?
just received the last set of the system,
Because they're taking too long.
All right,
and they're still in the process of rectifying the last two, which has a little errors.
okay. So then to your point, when will you start the tops of these buildings to finish that?
Yeah, 'cause that building also, it was tented too, so
That is building
15.
15.
So now we're going to consider one and
Buildings that have already been
two
tented are
buildings
4,
that have
6,
been
and
tented.
15.
Imagine that as a dimension of the amount.
Before I go on, the lower windows, the bank is requiring from engineer firm, what percentage of the project is completed? You have roof, electrical, and structure. They need to know what percentage of roof, percentage of structure, and what percentage of electrical is done. They need it to come from you all, the bank.
Okay, I know what we're talking about.
You know what you're talking
I will
about?
prepare it and send it to site for some.
Okay.
You can basically say phase 4, where basically everything is completed, and 100% of all the roofs of the other buildings are completed. So
You
basically,
don't have to tell me percentage wise, I don't.
so I'm just telling you, so basically that's what you're going to get. And as we're talking about that, all electrical recertification documents have been prepared. So we will try to upload it onto the city's portal. We're working on that to do it through our office.
I just want to jump in. Joe just returned my call, and he apologized. This is on the town, they jam packed, but yes, he is interested in bidding, and he'll come out. So you just have to.
So
Maybe you guys should coordinate that.
Okay.
So sorry. Yes, sir.
So I got a couple of things. With the side paneling, right, once you guys do all that, is it gonna start maybe sealing the house better?
And it's silly.
Like, is that the reason why these houses are so hot? Or is it the roof, or is it the siding? I don't know. I've
So
always-
Florida is generally hot.
Yes, I understand that, but you don't go into a house and it's 85 degrees with the AC on, you know?
Like here.
There's problems, and my AC's been.
But it could be that some of around the buildings have this black tape and that. hot air is
I've
coming
paid for
in.
windows, I've done all of that.
So let's hope that
it's-
after we complete the panels, that your heat should at least reduce. I don't know.
And my house wasn't like that before these new roofs.
Maybe insulation
What
on
do
the
you think that
roof.
we've done differently?
I'm not blaming you. I'm not-
Okay, but
I'm
you're
not-
saying
I'm
that
not
your
blaming you. I'm
house-
just asking, is it gonna get better? I don't know. What is this? Is this just,
Maybe the roof
is
is
just a
not
facelift?
insulated.
Is it actually gonna do something for the house?
I have no idea why your house is hot, because the only thing they did was remove the plywood and where they were.
Yeah,
not-
I'm not believing that.
Maybe you can explain the insulation situation.
I can explain the installation to you. You had no installation there, okay? It was blown, it was perhaps a quarter of an inch. If you pressed it down, there was nothing there.
Yeah, I can see the insulation, yeah.
And there's still none.
So
Have
that
you
is-
ever,
yeah, none.
how long have you lived in your unit?
5 years.
Have you ever had insulation work?
No, I don't, the thing is it's, my house is only hot in the living room, when we have the high ceiling.
Yes.
The only place that my house is hot.
I have, my house has a tendency to get hot anyways, and I thought that putting impact windows with the Eagle, whatever is gonna work. I know I don't have insulation, I have blown insulation, like you said, it's like this.
If you push
I'm
it
gonna
down,
get,
it's nothing.
it's
High s-
nothing.
high
I'm
s-
gonna call, I'm gonna get, I need to get insulation blown, I'll tell you if it makes a difference.
On high ceilings, and you talk to an AC guy, but on high ceilings, you have to compensate, you have to have a bigger unit than what the square footage is. Because as you get up on the ladder, on the wall.
Yeah, and you
that's-
can feel it.
You can feel the heat.
Again, I'm not blaming you, I'm not blaming you. I was just having a question, if that's actually gonna help seal the house a little bit.
I can tell you that as an original owner, the amount of insulation in the ceilings and the walls was so minimal, it was worthless. I did put in extra insulation in my living room and dining room, kitchen area where we have the high ceilings, and it made a big difference.
Okay. That's what I'm asking, because if I have to hire somebody to do it, I will. I just need to know before we do these walls, if that's even gonna do any difference. You know?
Well, basically with the hot panels,
You paid what? You
ours
paid
was
$600?
For floor insulation, yes. With who? Was it Orchid? They do It's not expensive.
But Dory has a number too, you
That's
didn't
fine,
you?
I don't have a problem.
No, but it's,
Yeah, okay.
However, does the contract state that they have to replace the insulation? I'm pretty sure it does.
And then also,
That's not the point.
there was supposed to be.
Excuse me, this
Guys,
gentleman is not
this is why I
finished.
read the board decor, the board meeting decor, because we're interrupting each other, wait to be called.
There was also a meeting for the termites. They were supposed to be prepped. I didn't get anything. Again, nobody answers
Okay,
anything
what-
about,
Are you, phase one?
yeah, building two.
Okay.
Oh, he's one of them that George is having trouble getting.
The problem is that people work. So people try and come over the house. I don't know.
No, they're trying to call you, did you get a call?
No calls.
Okay.
Again, I'm still, this is also 3 months now, 4 months. I've been asking for portal access, still don't have none. So I don't know.
You have
Nothing I
to see
can.
the gentleman behind
You
you.
can report access, it's on you, it's not on me.
I asked her,
I
and
know you should
I'm
be
not
asking.
blaming, I'm not
Of
blaming
course
you.
are. Yes, you are.
Would you?
I'm not
please-
blaming you.
Okay.
She told me to contact her.
Excuse me, would you please see me after the meeting so I can get your information and make sure that the,
Are you Brian?
No.
church,
David.
the beach environment gets a hold of you, get me a number, and we will get somebody to get in touch with you, okay?
1725.
Sir.
Also, I was supposed to get word whether I have to cut that slab of concrete so I can get a fence. Nobody's gotten back to me. It's now been 3 months as well.
Yeah, that slab of concrete and the fence was put in wrong by the previous owner, and I believe the next owner then extended the concrete out, and that is covering common property, and so, and that has to come out.
Okay, but again, they were supposed to give me word, nobody said anything.
Okay, I will.
So are we just gonna leave fence posts where the end of that fence is? Cause it's just literally, there's wood in my area, and it's just sitting there. So
Okay.
what do I do?
And did you get a architectural modification approval for the electrical, the charging station that you had installed on the
No, I
outside of the
installed
building? So see, that's gonna come off.
Yeah, I know it's gonna come off, I'm gonna take it off.
It's very easy,
It's not.
just do the, ACC form, which is the architectural modification, you kinda have to go retro now. Things that you've done that you've not gotten, permission for, that are coming up now, a lot of things are coming up now. We're asking owners to go ahead and put the architectural modification form in, get it done, get it approved, and then, Diana, can you see about the response that he needs for, or Lauren, about where we're gonna come? All right. Okay, all right, so we're still on.
There was a gentleman.
Yes, I'm just saying, we're still on the topic of the permit applications, building exterior.
Yes.
Right, I see, right.
Mine is more for information wise, and not to blame anybody for the AC. I'm running into the same problem that he's running at with, my thermometer set at 74, my temperature gets to 80 degrees. I had 2 different AC units come in, AC people, HVAC people come in. One said just charging, cleaning the coil, that didn't help. I had a second one come in, he did a heat index. From the ceiling is 111 degrees sometimes coming in, from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. He said up in the roof, it's about 115 degrees. So he said there's only 2 ways of fixing that. He's saying that it could be various reasons why that's happening. You know, it could be a construction, non-installation, says there's many reasons. Maybe you had a tree blocking it, you know, and there was shade coming in and things like that. So he says basically there's only two ways of fixing it. Like you said, getting a bigger AC unit to compensate for the heat coming in now for the square footage, or insulate your roof, you know, the ceiling. He says that's the only two ways of fixing that problem. He's saying, but there could be various reasons of why that is occurring. Because it's not only because of construction, he says the weather is getting hotter, the sun is beaming on your structure because maybe trees were blocking, shading the area up. He says there's a million reasons why this could be occurring. So that was more for information purposes. And
Yeah.
I did change my unit, my air conditioning unit, but the installation really
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
So we're not gonna enforce that part as a contract then? Or the part where it says that they have to replace the insulation if they removed a panel that had insulation on it?
The walls, only for the walls
That's only for the walls.
and for the flat
I
roof.
believe it was on the, scope of work, the roof as well. Not the slope,
For flat roofs, they didn't put insulation.
Yeah, that's have a layer.
It have not two or three layers of insulation on the flat.
Yeah.
But the slope roofs, all they had to do was just remove the shingles and replace the ones with water. In areas where they had to remove a piece of plywood or sheet of plywood, that's what they did. They never removed all plywood or anything. And where they removed plywood, it was just little.
Yeah, it's easy. So then we'll have to deal with that.
Before we go on, all right, discussion of supply of lower windows to have in storage.
This is the part where we discussed before that, well, basically when site was there, we asked if the association could at least beforehand supply some windows. So to facilitate, if you order early, so the contractor could move on smoothly with the works. And whichever units that benefited from these windows, we put that into your unit B.
I think Rhonda already answered that question. Association doesn't have money, the luxury to do that. Okay?
Okay,
Plus
so-
the lower windows are, I have a question before we get into that. Why weren't the sliding doors evaluated in your report?
Well, the sliding doors, as far as I see, do not need to be removed to do the facades.
Is that correct, Doran?
I don't believe so. I don't believe that anybody looked at them close enough to determine whether they should be removed or not.
But I thought that was the intent of this, when you did this walkthrough, the only thing you reported were lower
We
windows.
looked at the sliding doors are attached to the studs. For the facade works, you have to remove the T111. Removing and replacing a facade doesn't have anything to do with the
But did
sliding.
you,
Alright?
did you both
I
go,
looked
when you
at it.
did this,
I
was
have.
this report, who was present at this walkthrough?
Me.
What engineer?
Me and, Jatin.
Margaret,
Magic.
Okay.
And
So you
Lauren was
represented
there.
ST on the walkthrough as engineer. Okay. Did he walk with you? Did Astro walk?
Not
Did you
all of it.
guys talk at all about sliding glass doors?
He was there for some of the time.
Only some of it. He wasn't there. all the time.
But from since I have told Doreen from the start, the sliding doors doesn't need to be removed to do the facade works. The only situation that can arise in which the sliding door may have to be removed is if the 2x4s are termited or if they are rotten. And we will only know that after we remove the T111s. But for your information, right now, you can just get a contractor, he can just go remove the sliding door. It doesn't have nothing to do with the facade. He can remove and reinstall and not have nothing to do with the facade. Hence, it's not necessary to even evaluate this with the sliding door glass windows because it doesn't need to be removed.
But isn't there T111 around the sliding glass door?
You may find it, the T111 comes and it ends on the 2x4 at the end.
On the 2x4?
Yes, it doesn't go in
Oh.
or anything.
Like the windows do.
Right. Likewise, the trapezoidal glass at the top. This doesn't have to be removed to do the facade. The only
Unless
thing
it's
that-
rotten.
Unless the framing around it is rotten. So these things we can only determine when the works are over.
So what happens if Austro gets to that particular sliding door and it's like, oh, no, it's rotten or it's termite eaten, we have to remove it, then now what happens?
Then if they remove it, they will replace the new frame. If they don't want to reinstall a sliding door, then the unit owner can just get someone to install a sliding door. Because according to the code, these lower windows or sliding doors don't have to be impact or anything because they are low down. Alright, so these can easily be replaced, the sliding doors. If Austro don't want to do it, then basically I know with all of the projects that I'm working on, anytime a sliding door has to be removed and
When's the
replaced.
last time you read our contract? Are you familiar with our contract?
What does that mean?
It says they must install the window, and if the argument was, well, I don't wanna touch windows that our engineer deems is not okay, we got you the report. You have 8 people that pass the lower window. Those things need to be removed and put back. Now Austro is coming, oh, we're not gonna touch it because then we void their warranty.
That Austro has never indicated to
Read
me.
our contract, Larry, because what you're just saying does not, it contradicts our contract.
No, I am saying that because
You
Austro has
just
taken
said,
the point that they don't want to
as the
reinstall these
unit
things.
owner put back their sliding glass door. In the contract, it says Austro puts back windows that are in good repair back per engineer,
But they
right?
have-
And here's the per engineer and here's the stuff.
That I know. Austro has always replaced all windows that we deemed good. All for example, the 8 units
That's
in the
not
new
what they're
windows.
saying now.
they-
That's what I'm saying.
well,
There's legal
persons-
stuff coming up. That's not what they're saying now.
Persons that had new windows when they were doing upper window replacement, they removed it and they reinstalled it. I
That's
have-
not what they're saying with the lower windows now.
Rhonda will have to deal with them on
That's what
that
I'm
because
saying.
this is
The
a,
legal
if they're not going to do it, this
that's
is
on
a
our
legal
list.
problem.
That's on our list.
George, didn't you tell me that the sliders, you weren't worried about reinstalling them? That you guys wouldn't have a problem with the sliders?
No, I
Pretty
haven't.
sure he said that to me at least on 2 different occasions.
I never said that to you.
But in any case, I maintain that these sliding doors don't need to be removed unless.
Okay, engineer, what is your,
As Larry said, the sliding glass door has not to be replaced unless the frame around the sliding glass door is rotted or has any damage.
so my question to you is, let's hypothetically, you come to a unit, their sliding glass door, their frame or the buckwood is eaten by termites.
Yes.
You take it out, now what?
I don't know as per the contract.
Will the hardy board change the framing of a sliding glass door?
No.
Okay, good, not like the windows, good. We have the installation issue, which is a legal issue.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
What do I think is
As
wrong?
I'm confirming,
Wait,
Hold on,
hang on. Hold on, Kareem, we've recognized someone else here, okay?
Go ahead, sir.
okay, I'm confirming according to what, Larry is saying. What's happening here is, in the architectural field, if it's attached to a frame and the frame is decayed, it is the contractor's responsibility to remove it and replace the frame. It is no longer the homeowner's responsibility that does not know anything at all about an installation of a sliding door. But I will confirm what he said. The sliding door is anchored directly to the frame, and therefore it doesn't obstruction
The
to
new party board.
the new party board.
Good.
Windows does have that issue, however, so
Okay.
that's just a confirm that.
Thank you for that. Carrie, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, my big problem with the contractor, the windows and the doors that are going on is that there are some people in my space that did switch out their windows. And I think some of us outside glass doors. And we should at least got something from the contractor to say, okay, do not change them out right now. Like you couldn't have them installed each arm when we're putting in the hardy board all at the same time. So people don't have to pull out their windows and, warranties are being avoided for people for them to put up the hardy board. That shit, it's like a simple thing. It's like, okay, just wait until you can install. Or wait until you can order or do that. And nothing that down or even told to us as the association to work in that type of manner.
Kareem, when an ACC was submitted for approval for new windows being installed, one of the things that I suggested to the homeowners was that they wait,
Okay.
okay?
You didn't know
Their
that?
choice that they did not. So, I can't do anything about that.
Alright, well, I didn't know that.
Right, I understand that.
Yeah, me personally, I'm waiting. Like, I'm gonna order my model windows, but I'm gonna have to wait until they're ready to put on the hardy board so everything can be done. Pretty much, I'm gonna try to work it out where it's gonna be seamless.
Right.
Like, you take one window, and then I already have my windows here, so I'm gonna have to store them inside my house, and then they can just be put in, at the time that my that works.
Right, and that's a very smart thing to do, okay. Okay, thank you.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, all right, we have, yes.
So, there have been ACCs put in where they were not told to wait.
I'm sorry, there
There
were,
have been ACCs put in and windows replaced where they were not told to wait.
I'm
And
sorry,
this
was
is
that your
what-
house?
No, but it's David's, David, right? When you
Yeah,
put yours,
that
you
wasn't
weren't
told
told
to
to
wait.
wait. Thank you. So,
The Astro came out and inspected every single frame.
So here's my thing, is like, and this is what I've been saying for months, is that you walked a job, it's in the contract. It says you walked the job, and at the time, you took responsibility for all of this. You should have said, when you go to the sliders, oh, okay, yeah, this isn't a slider, the slider's going to frame, okay, so we don't have to worry about the hardening board there, all right, cool. So we're not gonna have to replace these, cool. We won't even get a quote for them, what you did, because it's in the initial paperwork. So you obviously knew you were gonna try to get the windows replaced, the sliders replaced as well, okay? So this is the whole thing. From the beginning, nothing has been done the way that it should have been. This seems pretty black and white now, right? About sliders and bottom windows and top windows. Why did it take 2 years to get to that point? Because this isn't stuff that needed to have stuff taken off to figure out.
Thank you, appreciate your opinion.
Shit show.
As someone who did pay an outside contractor to replace my bottom windows, I was told to wait. However, my issue is I was not given an end date and the prices severely went up during the whole Trump thing, and I'm not blaming anyone, but it's hard to wait when there's no
You
completion
can
time.
order windows, it takes 6 to 8 weeks.
So
to
I put
get
a
'em.
deposit down, I've been waiting for my permits to be approved. It's been a process.
So I have a question, I apologize. So you're gonna install your windows, so you think Oster Construction is gonna do it for free
No,
for you?
no,
When they
no,
raise
I'm
it
paying
themselves?
for it, no, I'm paying for it. I'm having someone else install it, I'm paying for it. I'm just saying, I was told to wait, you did tell me that, I agree. I'm not denying that you
But
told
this
me to
is
wait.
the
I just-
expectation of the community and the board that Ostro is going to reinstall.
No,
impact.
I was told that to have my windows installed by a third party, I had to have Ostro people come and tell them, these are the measurements that you should have because we're changing the hardy board, whatever, if they end up coming before you end up changing. That might not happen, I have no idea at this point whether you need to come, because it's gonna take 2 months to be delivered here. And so, and they're not even ordered yet. So by the time they come, you might be done. I'm just saying, it's hard to do a timeline.
Coordination is tough when you have multiple.
That's all I'm saying, I just
things.
literally went through this because I went to a third party, that's all I'm
But to
saying.
his comment, my comment back to you has always been, read the contract.
I
And
know
our
that.
attorney has already,
She's
Are-
not correct in that.
okay,
It only refers to new windows provided by Ostro, not to existing windows.
the contract says remove and reinstall. How do you remove new windows?
It's a racket, that's what it.
Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it anymore because that's illegal. I'm not gonna talk to anything that's pending legal. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm just confused. Do we have to have high impact windows on the bottom?
No.
No, only if you're 1 mile from the coast.
Yeah, that's what I
the
was getting
Florida
confused,
Building
because I think
Code.
that we had talked about it and they said that we had to.
But if you choose to put it back windows, it's up to you.
But, for example, now that we're talking about windows, okay, so the engineer, just like the upper windows for inspection, this is already posted on the website, thank you, Eric. The results of the lower window inspections has been done. Of all 1, 2, and half of 3, only 8 units passed the lower window inspection. Letters are gonna be going out, just like they did from the attorney on the upper windows, okay? During, we discussed yesterday, with management. For those unit owners, we are not going to, the association is not going to go against the engineer recommendation. So the engineer recommendation in that, on the website, is the letter from Farouk, Saeed Farouk, who's the engineer of record, that speaks to the board, that does not, he says, you should disallow these windows to be put back. Okay? I, nor any board member is going against the subject matter expert, okay? So, the letter, this whole packet goes unit by unit with pictures, why you failed, and so forth. This is posted on the website along with the engineer's letter. Now, this next step is, I told Rhonda, we have to officially notify the unit owners that their bottom window systems have failed, just like they did the process with the upper windows, right? The bottom windows, I looked at the Florida Business Code and you can confirm. Florida Business Code says if you're 1 mile, is it 1 mile from the coast?
Yeah, 1 mile.
You're required to have lower window impact, right? The upper windows had to have impact or shutters, okay? The lower windows have to be replaced. The engineer's gonna always, we're in Florida, is always going to recommend impact windows, right? But does the bottom have to be impact?
I don't think it has to be. We can verify on the code.
Can you verify the code for us?
All right.
But are they, is the code, what I need to find out is the code changes. If they have non-impact windows, does Florida code require them to have shutters?
What I can recall from the code, anytime it's from a second floor
Yeah,
upwards,
we
it
know about
has
the
to
second
be
window, we already
impact
went through
windows.
that.
I don't think the
Four-story with
code
upper windows.
specifies definitely that lower floor level windows have to be impact if it's the certain distance.
Certain miles from the.
So I can always review the
Can we
code
get a,
and send you an email on that.
can we Saeed do a formal letter to us? Or you, what the code is, so people know that when they have to replace the window, they choose not to go with impact, they have that option?
That's all.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I understand.
We need verification, we need guidance. Does
Okay,
it,
review the code and send it.
building code require?
If you want it in a formal letter, I can always put it in a letter
Yeah.
that's signed.
I mean, what I looked up, just so you know, I was curious when I got this report yesterday. I looked it up and it says, but I want something official. It says. I looked it up. I Googled in Florida, what is the Florida building code for windows, not on the coast or whatever they gave me, and said, no, but I don't, that's just Google, I want it directly with the engineering firm, so that we can post that letter. So just going back, let me show you. Did anybody get to see the report yet on the website? It's on the website, right? I checked. And I checked and I posted Saeed's letter with it. Okay, so the evaluation, there was an update. So the letter's dated July 29th. It's hot off the press with the window evaluation that the engineering firm did, just like they did the upper windows, right? Like I said, I looked at the report and I noticed that a total of 8 units passed the lower windows because they were newer windows. The windows that the engineers are seeing are 40-plus-year-old, but the original windows, just by looking at them, know that they're original windows. So the process is the same type of letter that was sent for the upper windows will be, unit owners will be notified about the results of the engineering inspection on the lower windows. Now, if the unit owner chooses to go with impact, once we verify that it's not required impact at the bottom. Did you coordinate with Ostro about their bulk pricing for the bottom windows, if that was a choice? Did you coordinate the date?
Yeah, you give it to me just now.
Okay, what is the date that you're gonna make yourself available in this clubhouse to speak to unit owners?
I don't have a key to the clubhouse.
Wednesday, I'm gonna be here with you.
Wednesday, Wednesday
You
during
need
the
to
day.
send out a notice, Eric, can you help us send out a blast notification? Do you have the ability just to send it out to 1, 2, and half of 3?
Yeah,
You have that ability to do that?
not half of 3. I would have to
Do all of 3?
put all of 3.
Okay. Well, you know what, include 4 in case somebody in phase 4 wants to change out the windows.
Right.
Eric, I'll send you
Send me the info.
Eric, I'll send you.
What are the dates?
time?
What minutes, what are the dates?
Wednesday during the day, Thursday evening,
Wait,
Wait,
when you
what
say
Wed-
Wednesday,
what Wednesday?
what Wednesday?
next week.
Next week, okay, that's Monday,
That
Tuesday,
is-
fifth,
that's the
sixth.
sixth, okay.
August 6th, at what time?
What time?
I'm here all day, so I'm here from 9 to 5.
No, but I need a time that you're gonna make yourself available here.
Okay,
1 to 4?
sure, 1 to 4 is fine.
Okay, now you need an evening time.
What for Thursday? Let's do, 5 to
5 to 9?
7.
5 to 8?
No, 5 to 7.
5 to 7?
And you're talking Thursday, the 7th, the next day?
Saturday, we don't get out
Is that Thursday, the very next day?
Yes.
Okay, so August 6th, 1 to 4 for those unit owners that are here during the day, and for those that in the evening, I think you're gonna need more than 2 hours in the evening, that's when the bulk of your unit owners are available. I think it should be flipped. Not many unit owners during the day. Why don't you do Wednesday, 4 to 7, right?
Can you do that? Would that work 4 to 7 for you?
We'll have to check, we'll let you know tomorrow. We'll have to check this.
Let us know, stand by, Eric, because then you send that blast, anybody interested in
Yeah.
windows? That way he's here, and you'll have physical contracts here, so people are not chasing you?
Well, here's the situation, right now I only have pricing for impact windows, so.
Right,
I
but
don't
the
know.
message will be about impact, once we get confirmed from the engineer firm that the lower windows don't have to be impact, then you're out of the picture, right? Because you don't sell non-impact, right?
I have to check with my boss to see whether he wants to do that and how is that going to affect his warranty. I just don't know.
Can you check it?
Okay, so this is just for impact, appointments for, availability for impact for those that wanna go impact. Oscar will be here.
And then one other thing though, is if they are coming, they should let us know, because then in advance, he can go and see, because each windows are different according to Dorian. He can then go and see
No,
what
the
the cost.
contract already has the windows by phase, you already did that work. You put that in the contract as an addendum, you don't have to go back, you don't have
Yes,
to.
so some unit owners, I have one particular that he doesn't want to change all of them, so it goes again with the sliders, etc. So I need to know when I meet with the owners what they want to do.
Well, but you should have the sizes and the prices for
Yes,
all of the units.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to have tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, so by the time I meet with them, I'll have that information.
Okay.
All right, Gary, stand by on the date and time.
Yeah, I'll send it to him tomorrow, and we'll include you guys.
Yeah.
When we get an official word from the city on what is required for the bond, can that go out on a blast to everybody as well?
I've requested a letter from the engineering firm, that letter will be blasted.
Okay.
It's not from the city, it's the Florida Building Code. Once he confirms the Florida Building Code,
Okay.
the city doesn't have their code. I'm almost sure, but I want to confirm, that certain mile, if you're certain miles away from the coast, you don't need impact on lower windows.
That's 1 mile, but what I'm reading here, it says in plantation, you're within the high velocity hurricane zone and the wind-borne debris region under the Florida Building Code.
Can you check with the city? Well, this is special inspector for the city, he will know the answer.
I'm asking our vice president, who is very familiar with what to verify for me. So as soon as he informs
I
me.
didn't realize that plantation is in the high velocity.
Martin just showed me the code on his phone that because here is in the high impact zone that it has to be impact windows, or if it's not impact, it has to have shutters.
Either or. So if you
Either.
go, but you have a choice for non-impact, you just have to expense
Exactly.
shutters.
That is a requirement.
Which is double expense.
You have to do the shutter.
That's why it's more economical just to go impact.
Yeah. So I think the results is going to be sick. When in my vice president, he's someone who does all these things for us.
You want to give the option because if you don't already have a contact, I can do a deal on shutters that cost them nothing and they bring their shutters up over non-impact. I mean, hold on, Eric has a question.
When will the other inspections be done? Will they be done before we meet with Doran and everybody?
What other inspection?
The other windows inspections for the other parts of the house. If
I'm just gonna go to each unit, Eric, take the measurements, verify whatever, so that I can have a number of windows, doors, and then when I meet with you, you're gonna have to choose which ones you're gonna replace.
No, I mean, I understand that, but don't the engineering companies still have to do the inspections on the other buildings?
They did, that's what
They
they
did.
posted.
They didn't do the building, my building.
They
They didn't do all of the buildings.
They didn't do the sliders.
No, they didn't do the windows of all the
They
buildings.
didn't do the windows in
Yes.
the back, that's what I was
I
telling you.
went with the engineer.
Yeah, what unit are you, Eric?
That building.
What unit? No?
18,
No.
17.
17 what?
17,
It's
21.
only 1 through 15.
They only did 1 through 15.
Oh.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, yeah, you missed 16, 17, and 18, that's half of 3.
But those are done, those are the
Those
concrete
buildings are
buildings, they were
completed.
closed out.
Oh, those are the
These are concrete
concrete.
buildings. We didn't.
No, the concrete or the size that you did, you have buildings that have T111. You finished a concrete building. You have in phase 3 half that are wood frame.
But that's
Yes, we
15.
did it. 15.
But the
13,
report
14, and
says
15.
1 to 15.
It's
Yeah, but
13,
that's it.
14, and 15 in phase 3.
That's it.
Hold
So
on, let me look at the aerial. view
13,
here.
14, and 15 is the half of phase 3 that has
Correct.
not been completed.
Okay, 13, 14, and 15. Yeah, that's correct. It is. Your OG was done.
So I guess mine passed, mine leaving.
Let me see what's unit number.
But can you do that afterwards?
Yeah, I did, yeah,
But
I'm
you
just
did.
asking.
It's on the website, Eric.
I know, but I didn't see no pictures.
I don't know where it is.
Oh,
Okay,
They didn't take all the
Right,
pictures in
yes.
the back of my.
Okay, so going back to that report as well, they didn't look at back windows, just the front windows.
Yeah, the pictures there of my windows only in the front.
We went all around the building except for the sliding door.
No, I'm telling you, my back windows aren't on there, I just looked at them.
I think that we can assume if the other
No, I
windows,
don't wanna assume,
No, I don't want to assume.
okay, if these windows are of the same,
they're not,
excuse me,
they're not the same windows.
Larry,
Excuse me.
go back.
We
Excuse me.
walked all around the building.
if the windows
The
were
pictures are not
installed,
here, you're missing the pictures then.
Which picture?
if the
The back
windows,
windows.
It takes forever to get your.
Guys, it's like three conversations from
never mind, I'm just gonna shut up because you won't let me talk.
All right, let's go. Stop it. Enough. Why do you think I had to reread the board meeting decorum? Enough of this crap already. We're trying to conduct business. Larry, could it be that you forgot to include it in the report?
RJ is the one who prepared this paper.
Max,
What's the issue?
could you go back and check that you didn't miss any pictures? Because she's saying and he's saying,
Yeah,
the
mine are
picture of the back window is not in the report.
Yeah, my back windows, I didn't take pictures either.
What do you mean?
They asked,
What window from inside?
did you include, they say like this is some pictures of windows from the back.
Did you go in the backyard?
We went to the backyard.
Every yard.
It's only one backyard that they didn't have.
Right, we know about that one backyard. So my question to you is, then probably you forgot to add it to the report. Can you double check, please? That's all, because it's not in the report.
And all the windows, they look the same, they're all the same age.
I understand, but we need the unit owner to have this.
RJ, you may have to add the other photos.
We don't take shortcuts here, Dorian.
No, he has.
We spent money doing the inspection. I expect a comprehensive, full report with no windows missing. That's what we paid for.
In the sums.
So what I'm thinking, Nat, is there perhaps, double check the files, the picture files, because that's what happened. It has to be, if they're saying your back window's not here, you missed it, there's a lot of data here.
Because you took pictures of everything. Yeah, so just
Okay,
put it
so
on.
it's evident that something was missed. Let's get it on.
I'm just letting you know, I heard.
No, thank you for bringing it to our
I know some
attention.
that complain.
That would have known, I'm not counting on that. I don't know what everybody's backyard windows look like. All right. Last and final thing. Ostro to update work schedule for the continuation of the work.
Right, that's why I told you, the discussion with them, they wanted to start on 1, 2, and 6. On one basis is because some of these unit owners have purchased windows and they wanted to use it, some of these units as a mock-up, so other residents can see how it looks, and then that will basically give them more of a push to move forward with the installation of this new window.
Understood. That's nice if the association had the money to upfront these unit owners. We're not a bank. We said that from day one. We're not a bank.
That's not what I'm saying. What
You're
I'm
saying to
is-
give them a push to
What
start
I'm
the
saying
project.
is some of the unit owners in these buildings are purchasing new windows.
Yes, and that hopefully next week when he has his meeting, we'll know more. What are you, the letter that Wanda is sending is saying, heads up, unit owner, here's the report. You'll just get your unit, not the whole report. The whole report's on the website. Here's your unit, we just received word from the engineer of record that your bottom window system has failed. We need you to, A, tell us what we wanna do. Are you going with Ostro, are you going with a third party? Here's the ACC form, we're attaching the ACC form because on the upper window, we had a delay. I couldn't find the ACC form, so she's attaching the ACC form. Tell us what you're doing. Here's the due date to let us know, because windows take 6 to 8 weeks to get here. And we're in hurricane season, so I'm sure there's a big demand for windows right now.
Well, what I was trying to say is there are residents who are already purchasing lower windows, some
Okay.
units. So Ostro wanted to start on these buildings, especially because some of the units already have the windows.
You were the project manager, you decide with Ostro, not
No, that's
us.
what I'm telling you.
But what I'm
Right now, you're saying that 1 and 2 are going to be tempted, so we're going to
Correct,
have to
that's
wait.
why I sent the email today, guys, remember, you have to follow behind the tenters, because the tenters cannot be scheduled. And Doran, it's a good thing we sent it, because Doran forgot about the tenting. So now you have the schedule, so whatever you guys decide, if you have a building already that everybody has the windows, and you have the permit, let's notify the unit owners, let's notify the occupants, hey, they're going to start, they need that notice. The same notice we gave in phase 4. We try to
Yes.
give a 2-week notice so people can move their stuff, and then you're not breaking stuff, and people have had a chance to move.
In regards to the notice, in the past, many owners did not do any work. And,
They didn't remove anything.
Then you put Diana on the case.
okay, so the problem is, Levi instructed me not to start the building if it's not ready.
No, you tell us, it could be a plan for God's sake, come on,
Okay.
Doran, for
I'm
the
not
sake
talking
of
just
this
about
project. Don't be petty. If somebody forgot to move a plant, please move the damn plant. We're talking about big satellite dish, okay. If we're talking about cameras, okay. If we're talking about, I get it. It's when you put her on the case, and she will notify the unit owner, hey, what happened? We notified you, you didn't do the work. But if it's something small that's not breakable, you're not hold up a building for that, for God's sakes.
And we do contact them by phone during the day and after hours up to 10 o'clock. For those of you who actually call in.
Yeah, you know what, her, trying to call you.
But I do.
Sometimes it's the only time we can get in touch with you. Time is the best friend. Remember, every day that's passing, what's happening every day that's passing? The city fines.
Okay, so Patty, about the lower windows, our vice president just sent me a message saying for all new lower windows will need to be impact rated because large missile impact since they are within 30 feet off the ground because of large missile impact. Like during the hurricane, something can be picked up and
Okay, can you get us that
yes,
environmental letter?
I will send it to the letter, but I'm just informing you.
Okay,
that
so
that's-
non-impact windows are not
Alright.
an option.
So it has to be impact rated.
Even if they do shutters?
But if they do shutters, then it's a different thing. The shutters can take the impact.
Why would somebody double expense? Doesn't make sense.
Alright.
If you allow shutters and regular windows, there's gonna be a lot of penetrations.
Well, but that's the homeowner's responsibility.
That's it.
Decision.
If they want an extra expense with normal windows and then expense on hurricane shutters, that's.
With that, I will see what's side, and then tomorrow I'll draft up the letter.
All right, so.
I have questions.
Yes.
And custom windows. I know the 2025 safety program, Florida Safety and Safety thing is about to start up again.
And there's wide range.
Does-
ACE programs, we shared
Yes,
them
but,
before.
no, but I'm saying it,
Hurricane
actually,
tax
you can't
free.
use that with Astro, correct?
I don't know.
That's
You have to be, you have to be.
I didn't think that it applied to condos or townhomes or villas, only to single-family homes.
Right.
No, I believe they opened that up.
No, I don't think they did from what I read. I think it's only single-family homes, and you have to meet an income requirement.
Yeah. There is, there is, this, the white, green, Y, the letter Y, GRENE.
It's energy spelled backwards.
Right. There's the PACE program, which they're the same. It's a program, there's certain contractors that are approved under, I don't know if it's a state program or federal, I think it's a state. Whatever it is. There are certain contractors that accept white, green, and PACE program. What it is, it basically allows you, it's not based on credit score, and I think, did Eric?
I did it in my house.
So
That's how I did my windows. That's the only reason why I didn't go with Astro, because I did it through there.
They allow you to pay for your
Well, I did
windows
the
through
PACE
property taxes, so you only pay one, and they don't, the interest rate is not high.
No,
And
it's
they
not.
give you, how many years do they give you?
I think mine is 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And I just pay it on my property taxes. When I pay
Yeah,
on
once
the
a year,
escrow, it just.
they tack it onto your property taxes.
There's also companies that give you 18 months interest-free.
Yeah.
That's how I did my house.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
And then it's after 18 months, and then there's interest.
I did a HELOC for mine, I wasn't required to change it, but my windows are 40 years old, I'm in phase 4, and I just got a line of credit from my bank and just paid my windows through there. But there's so many options, you have to really look. If a unit owner is saying, I can't afford it month to month, then do the white green PACE program is the way to go, because they give you 10 years to pay for it, and it's done, they charge you through your property taxes. It's not credit score driven, nor you have to do a down payment.
Yeah, and I don't think it's income driven either.
No, it's not income driven.
In regards to the, I apologize, I just wanted to run this by you. In regards to the windows and doors that are going to be ordered in the future, we are gonna ask for more than 50% because it doesn't cover the cost of the windows. So we're gonna increase that to a percentage that covers the cost of the windows.
More than 50?
Yes,
That's if they go with Ostro.
yes.
Gordon, would you send me an estimate, the contract, please?
Yes, we're gonna work.
But I'm not gonna be at one of those meetings.
No, no, no
So
problem.
I did send you an email requesting that.
I have you on the list.
Let me get him in the back, because he's been very patient, yes.
Okay, so Dorian, I had asked for probably about 4 weeks when will the prices become available for the lower windows, and I'm just asking now, how soon do you think you'll be ready?
Okay, so, the prices we confirmed several weeks ago, that the prices are remaining the same. They are on the website and they have been from day one. But I realize that many people do not go and measure their windows, they just expect us to give them a quote to figure out how much money they need to set aside.
Why don't you have the residents measure all?
Can we get some paperwork on the desk each time we have a meeting like this, or something like that? Is that possible?
Have one.
Like, break down, I'm one of the persons, not on the portal, don't
Yeah,
ever do
so-
that. But for something like that, I mean.
Yeah, we did at some point, I printed it out in the beginning, I had it by face, because they had it attached, the bulk pricing, they had it attached to the contract. Maybe.
It's a cost for us to be,
How do you send me a text message?
yeah,
Get an email,
email,
I'll send
Eric,
it to you.
and.
I'll
he'll
download that
email
part,
it to you.
I'll snip that part of the contract, under phase 2. And I'll just email you all the different sizes that possibly can be in phase 2 are on there with the price.
I have that available.
We can
Just-
move copies,
I
if
think
you
we
want
can
to
do
read
it.
copies. Okay.
I'd like to make one comment, there's a lot of people who are conning the PACE program. There's a lot of, where they're fake. You're not really the PACE people, so you've got to.
You have to
be
go
very-
on the official website,
Yeah, it's
everybody.
like really careful
If you
when you deal with it.
Google official PACE, Florida PACE program, yeah, there is a lot of fraud out there. And there are you guys contractors of any of the program?
No, by choice, just dealing with individual homeowners. After you install their roof or whatever, they need to sign off on your work. And some have refused to sign, consequently the contractor doesn't get paid. So we just don't want to entertain that.
Okay, so, all right.
I just have a quick question. When you guys do get to the siding, like the T111 removal and stuff, when you start on a building, what do you expect to be like the time frame for that to be done?
Okay, it's a little bit kind of a loaded question because we have, you know, 3 other trades that we have all.
It's going to be a little complicated because they have the plumbing, they have the electrical, they have the cable, you know, but for example, the way we discussed with the persons who work, vendors who will do the MEP, saying that we don't want residents to stay without AC or electrical for long hours during the day that they work. So for example, one of the vendors is suggesting is for 1 hour in the morning, they may have to turn off the electrical so they can disconnect the AC unit, remove the metal panels, disconnect the plumbing and whatever cases. And then Austro is going to try their best within that day, 8 hours of the day, that they work to have the section where these things are completed so the MEP guys can come back maybe at the end of the day to do all the reconnections. But we're looking at only like 1 hour loss of electricity just to do the initial electrical disconnect. And maybe when they're reconnecting, it may have maybe just a half an hour for in the evening to do the reconnection.
So Larry, so as we get prepared for this, we need all these bullet points detailed, so in the letter for the unit owners and framed houses in these phases, we need to include that their electricity, because many have pets at home and go to work, and you know, so all those details I need to make sure they're in the letter that we're gonna post on the website, we're gonna make, email to the unit owners, and for those that have tenants, we're gonna put on the door. Because a lot of them have pets, and this is the heart of summer.
Because for sure, there will be some short disruptions.
Oh, of course, you have to disconnect and move.
Yes, with the AC, depending on how close the AC is, the copper line may have to be cut to move the AC unit and reconnect it and to shift it. Then when the works are done, when the AC guy comes back, he has to cut it again to replace the AC back in its original position.
You guys do that the same day?
Well, we're hoping to.
Okay.
So if the AC is cut, it will be maybe just 1 hour while they're shifting it.
So you
And
guys
then
are
do the reconnect.
pretty much gonna go from like unit to unit instead of
That's
just
the
like-
process. You cannot do a whole.
No, that's good.
You
That's-
have to do unit by unit.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I wanted to.
Unit by unit.
How are you gonna be able to reconnect it if you move it? You're saying like, you move it for an hour, do the work for an hour?
No. They're going to come in the morning. If Austro will coordinate with whoever the MEP guy is. The guy will come in the morning that Austro wants to work on this piece of facade. If there's an AC unit, they're going to cut the power, they're going to move the AC away from the facade, do all the reconnection to switch back on the AC. Then Austro is going to proceed to do the
How are you
work.
gonna reconnect the cooling line?
Listen to me. They're going to reconnect everything. They're going to disconnect everything, move the AC from there to give Austro clearance to do the work. Right? In the same time that they move it to that location, they're going to reconnect the AC and everything back is going to be working to normal. Like allow Austro the time to do his work. If they don't finish it in a day, the AC is working, light is connected. When Austro finishes this piece of facade, then the AC guy is going to come back, he's going to cut the light, move back the AC back to its original position and redo all the connections and everything.
How are you gonna reconnect when you need gas? I mean,
It's an AC guy that's going to do it. They're going to come with.
so you have to pay for two,
They're going to do everything.
so we have to pay for gas twice?
No,
Yes.
cooling, that's gonna release the cooling.
Freon.
They have a system to catch it.
That's cheap.
That's not cheap.
Freon is not cheap.
No, it's not. I mean, my ex was the AC mechanic
$40 for the first pound.
Yes.
One person at a time. So the question is how.
Let's, because the price they're going to give us for moving the AC and replacing it, everything will be included. So it's not like it's going to have a separate price now.
But the quote that we're getting, is that over the entirety of the community or like for plumbing work? Or is that a price per unit that then that owner will have to
By
pay?
phase.
It's going to be priced by phase.
So if I want my own people to do it, I don't get that option?
You still have to pay.
I'll pay, my
No,
God.
you have to pay, if it's by phase,
I don't
it will
wanna
be
pay
charged
by
by
The
phase.
thing is,
I don't wanna pay
if
that.
you want
Well,
to do
that's
that,
the way
there
this
is going to
organization
be
is
a
set up.
very high
Can we vote on
level
that?
of coordination required.
Okay, then no,
from you.
it's not set up like that.
Nothing
It's
that's
not
gonna
what we're
delay
It's
the
a
work.
phase.
It's
Have to
a-
vote on it.
Guys,
It's a
everybody,
phase.
please. There's a lot of level of coordination with this, okay? So, I mean, that would have to be discussed with a contractor, you know, that's just a.
Basically, right now, if any, because all units are included in the scope of works.
Yeah, but that's like the case for everything else, and they had the electricians go unit by unit. You could have gotten your own electrician to do the other work for the outlets and everything and the light fixtures, so why can't we just continue to do that? I don't wanna pay
There is a
whatever
spreadsheet,
assessment
there is a spreadsheet which I sent to the
the
association, stating each unit, how many power outlets, how many light fixtures, meter panel, that is well detailed on every unit. So if you
Can we
want,
continue?
I sent it to the board already, so you could pull out this spreadsheet, look at your unit number, you will know how many outlets you need to get, how many light fixtures, I sent it.
It's per unit, is what you're saying.
Right,
We
I
have
sent it per
pricing
unit, but
So
then
we
to
have the
s-
option
for the scope
of
of
pricing
works.
person per unit or doing the entire assessment for the whole phase to be included.
But it's-
It's a outside of your scope for that, because that's a HOA, I mean, a COA.
Right, so
question.
if you choose to want to do it on your own, you're just going to have to inform the association that you don't want your unit to be part of the scope of works. And whatever put the vendor sends, then we're going to tell him, hey, you have one less to do.
Yeah, but there's,
That's right.
no, this is the part
Okay,
of the bureaucracy.
listen.
In the subject, we've beat it to death, let's
Something
go
else.
on.
Yes, ma'am. Could you clarify the meetings for the windows? Only six for
We don't have the times. Lauren has left, we don't have the times. We know it's gonna be Wednesday and Thursday, but we don't have the times yet.
It will go on,
It will be on the website. We'll have a blast go out to
and we
everybody.
can post it on the mailboxes. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Gentleman's question, so I understand that it's a 1 hour turnaround for the AC lines and the electrical and all of that, and that you're going to be going by unit, but what's the turnaround for the whole unit?
You mean for the whole construction of that
The whole
building?
facade, no, so if they're going by unit, meaning every single unit, they're turning off the AC, they're getting time for the construction people, are they just gonna go, so is one part of it gonna be everyone by unit gets their AC moved or whatever needed to be moved away, and then they're gonna finish the whole building, or is it going by unit, they're gonna
It's
finish?
going to be unit by unit.
So the whole facade of the whole unit, so what's the turnaround on that?
So if they're working on one unit, they will do the front because they have to move all these MEPs, complete the front, then do the back.
So what's the turnaround on
It depends on how complex the situation is. Maybe when they remove the facade, they see some rotten
that?
2x4s.
So, two situations, one's not rotten, one is.
Alright, well, the worst case scenario, if you have some rotten studs, it may take a day to do a facade, the front, most likely.
If no rotten stuff or whatever, it's one day.
With rotten a lot, I have not seen it passing a day, because,
Both front and back. the
but
whole
just
thing.
for one, for example, the front, we have to give them time, because you never know what you get.
So that's what I'm asking, I want front and back.
So let's say
The
for
whole
front and
thing.
back of a unit, let's say maybe 2 days, 3 days max.
So like a business working week, 5 days.
Basically.
If there's no problem.
Right, but then your light will only be affected when they are moving the AC units
first
at
panel
the front
and the second
and the
panel.
meter panels. But when they're doing the back, if they're just taking out a outlet or a socket and
I
they're
understand,
not
I
gonna
just
feel
wanted to turn
it.
around time for the whole unit.
Yes, sir.
My biggest concern is
just because of what I've seen so far, when things have been worked on, there always seems to be an issue. Now, thinking about AC as expensive as the AC unit is, can I get some sort of guarantee or insurance, or excuse me, assurance, that if something happens to my AC, it will be fixed and I will not pay for it?
But according to the scope of works, it states everything that whosoever the vendor is going to have to do.
Well,
It's
what
listed-
if
it's
and
listed
so
on the
many
scope of
permits are being pulled for all this?
Permits will be pulled.
So each phase is gonna have a permit by building or a permit by phase?
I think it's going to be, I'm not too sure what the contract, the vendor would want to do it, if you just want to pull a permit for the whole building, or if you want, I'm not too sure
How they do it, okay.
Okay, I can't. But I know in the scope of works, it is listed every step that the vendor has to take. And at the end of the scope of work, I think it states that he has to make sure that the unit is working as it was before.
Okay, well, will there be a warranty on there?
Yeah, like 60 days, 90 days.
Yeah, because I don't want it to work, I don't want it to work for the first 5 hours, and you guys go home, and the next few hours, it's out of commission.
All right, it's, everybody, it's really hot in here, I'm about to faint, it's 8:30.
Okay, wait.
Let me just ask the two board members, Kareem, Elizabeth, I know you're there, but do you have any specific questions?
Well, I don't have any questions, sorry.
Elizabeth?
No.
Yeah, I want to have Noel provide us with some information that we had postponed from the meeting on Tuesday.
Alright, so Larry and probably the engineer will be able to respond to something like this. This might not be in the scope of all unit owners or the ones that are affected. Where your meter is too close to the walls at
Todavía
present,
estoy aquí en el meeting,
it
después te llamo.
will either require removal, and that's gonna be major on any homeowner. But there are ways around that, which more likely the engineer and Larry or whomever would be able to respond to something like this in terms of a suggestion. There are casings that are used on other townhomes to safeguard issues like that, where you panel where your meter socket is, where all your electrical is. It's a small casing on both sides and a very short sloped roofing. I don't know if you guys, any of you are familiar with it, but where you don't necessarily have to pay that enormous money to remove the electrical items from the wall as much as 2 inches or 2.5 to have the contractors working behind any of these.
Yeah.
And there are cases where these are, I've seen it, it is on mine also, but I'm just suggesting, or it's something that you guys can look into. For when it gets to that point, it's gonna be seriously expensive to remove these units, and it's gonna be on the homeowner. And we're trying to avoid additional spending, and, I don't know if anybody else has the same crunch as I do, but it's ridiculous to move something like that.
It is.
Wait, I'm sorry. So electrical and AC units are our responsibility to pay for?
That's what they're saying.
They're
As a what,
really,
a special assessment?
Most likely.
Your AC unit?
not your AC unit, your electrical meter. If your meter, there's a small gap where the T111 ply sits. If it's 1 inch, it's gonna require more for that hard evaporator and whatever work is to be done behind it. And it's gonna come at this point where it's gonna be another assessment or added money for each unit owner that has their meter.
Isn't the
Too
scope?
low.
Which to be fair is
Let me explain to you.
To be fair.
Let me explain to you. We met on site where we did a mock-up of this whole Hardy-Watt stuff a few weeks ago, all right? And what Said has instructed is in the location where these meter panels are, we are not going to put purring strips. In the direct area where these meter panels will be attached,
We will not attach furring strips that will cause the facade to come the inch and a half out. So basically, what the electrical guy is going to do is detach the meter panels. So he may just have to dig a little down, move it forward, give Austria the chance to redo the facade work, and then just reattach it.
Does this come as a cost to unit owners?
Well, that's what we're sending out vendors to give us costs to do these electrical works. This you have to discuss with the board where the cost is going to be appropriated.
Will FPL do that for us at a particular rate?
The thing is, this doesn't really have to involve FPL.
But maybe it should involve it, you know, it'll save us some money.
FPL, one of the electrical guys was even telling us today that if you're going to involve FPL charges $1,800.
Wait, 1,800?
800 to just be on call. That's what one of the vendors advises. Alright, so if you're going to involve FPL, then you're going to associate a lot of costs and delays.
Yes.
Because what the electrical vendor, one of them is saying, this doesn't have to involve FPL. It's just a matter of shutting off the lights where they shut it off, wherever, and just move the panel to allow Austria to do their work. But if FPL is going to be involved, we say there's going to be 1,000, because he does it in other areas, there's 1,800 on call that you have to pay to FPL, so you can call them in the event that they have to come to you.
We can't afford it.
And it has to be scheduled. Yes?
Yeah, when you do this, don't you have to have the inspector from
Excuse us,
the...
Kalani, please, we can't hear. You were not recognized.
Don't you have to have the inspectors from the city to come and check it before you put everything back?
We are the.
I mean, they don't come out the same day. Usually it takes time for them to come out to
First
inspect
of
it.
all, you're going to have whichever vendor is going to pull a permit to do whatever electrical or plumbing works they're going to do. Depends on the volume or the amount of works to be done. Sometimes it doesn't require a permit. Depends on the type of work that's to be done. So they have to figure that out with the city when they're going to, after we select a vendor, then he will check with the city what he requires a permit for and what he doesn't require a permit. But in any case, S&D Engineering are the special inspectors for the project. So that's why we issue inspection reports that goes to the city. The only thing the city will do is upon closing of the permit, they will come and do a final inspection. They're not going to come and inspect every single house.
Okay.
Because we are the special inspectors for the city. Okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn this meeting. Thank you.